All right, a very good afternoon to all of you who are tuning in. My name is Philip. I'm a social worker from a Life Community Network. Welcome on board today on our SG Youths Heart-to-Heart Talk Media Use. How much is too much, and so what if it's too much, right? And here today I want to also wish all our Muslim friends Selamat Hari Raya. Have a happy holiday. Don't worry if you can't tune in, you are maybe celebrating with your family. This video will be available on our YouTube channel and you can still tune in later on. Right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to introduce our special guest today, and then later on the youths who are joining our panel, right? And then they're gonna introduce themselves. So if you have seen the brochure that was sent out, right? Today we have Miss Carmen Lee on board with us. Let me invite her into the screen, and then I will share a little bit. Yeah,
Hello,
welcome, Carmen. Right.
everyone.
So as you've
Hi.
seen on the brochure, right? Yeah, Carmen is a founder of Relate, a company that she started. How I actually got to know
Yes.
Carmen is we used to be ex-colleagues and we used to work together in a youth cyber wellness program. Where I think both of us we left last year, and then I proceeded to do something else, and she as well. So today I'm very glad to have her back here on a topic that we used to be doing together. So
Yes.
yeah, it's really nice, I think, to relive those times where we were running workshops, having assembly talks on this topic lah. So today I had Carmen here to share a bit of the insights, her experience, and what she's still continuing doing in this area of work. So maybe I'll just get Carmen
Yes.
to introduce herself a bit about what she's doing now, and then maybe on the note of media use, maybe she can share something that she enjoys in terms of media use. Yeah, Carmen,
Yes.
to you.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you for inviting me for this online HTHT talk on media
Yeah.
use. I think I'm really quite excited to be united with Philip, to give a talk or just to have a casual discussion about this topic. So, I mean, as you know, that previously I do run cyber wellness program together with Philip. We previously worked in a family service center together, and after we parted our ways last year, I wanted to start Relate. If you guys use social media, you will know the lead icon. The lead
Yeah.
icon on Instagram. That's the inspiration for my company name. I wanted to relate. Certain relationships within individuals, with families, and of course, like with social media or internet use. We form a lot of relationships online, but how are we doing with our relationship offline? So this is my passion. And now I'm helping families who are struggling with their kids' cyber wellness usage. So I provide home visits for those youths who probably they were so-called term addicted to the internet, to do some therapy individually and with the family. So I hope that today a topic will benefit a lot of youths, and as well as maybe, let's say, if the parents are watching, we hope to give some insights of what the youths voice in this topic. Yeah. So
Right,
thank you, Philip, for
nice,
inviting me.
nice. Thanks, Carmen. Yeah, and so now I'm gonna invite the youths who are joining us today for this panel. And in case some of you still don't know what HTHT stands for, it stands for Heart to Heart Talk. So what we really intend for today's session, it's really a very honest heart to heart conversation. There's no judgment, and we're just really hoping to have an honest conversation about this topic with our youths. And yeah, very glad that they were very willing to join. Yeah, and let me invite first up Ethan into the screen. Here we have Ethan, and then next up, yeah, say hi to the viewers. And Oliver. Hi,
Hello.
Oliver. Yeah,
Hello.
and then we have Hannah. Later, I'm gonna get them to introduce how old they are. Yeah, and you'll hear a bit from them. Okay, I think she's a bit blank, but no worries. Okay, I think she went. connecting. Oh, hi Hannah, you're here. Yes, we got you.
I was having technical difficulties.
No worries, no worries. Welcome aboard. We actually have one more, but I think he's having some issues with the connection. But no worries. Later on, when he's able to come on, then I'll bring him into the screen. So right now, what I'm gonna get each of them to do is introduce a bit of themselves with their name, their age. Yeah, so maybe what you're studying now, and then your commonly used media platforms and your favorite media platform. Okay, you got that? Yeah. So maybe why don't Ethan can start first.
Okay, my name is Ethan.
Mm.
I'm 15 this year, and maybe my some of the my commonly used media platforms will be Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, that's about it. Mobile games, yeah.
Right. And what's your favorite one?
Out of the three, I think my favorite has to be Instagram. Because I enjoy looking at what other people are doing and posting stories, posts. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I like to do that too. Well, thank you, Ethan. Oliver, how about yourself?
Hello there, I'm Oliver, currently 18 this year. I
Mm.
mainly use just YouTube and 9gag actually. Just mainly these
Mm.
two.
Mm. Okay, your
Favorite
commonly
media,
used.
yeah, and my favorite media most likely is YouTube. Just cause I have almost nothing better to do, so I just go on YouTube and watch videos they recommend me.
Videos. Right, right, right. Nice. Thanks, Oliver. How about you, Hannah?
I'm Hannah. I'm 21, and I use YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, a bit of Snapchat. Yeah. And I think my favorite would be Facebook. Yeah.
Nice. And why Facebook? Wait,
Uh,
why you?
Facebook.
Oh,
Cause
Facebook, right? Facebook. Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
Cheering.
I
Yeah,
mean,
why Facebook?
I guess like not a lot of people are on it these days. So like it
Mm.
becomes like this site where like all your aunties and uncles are like just sharing random like posts, and then like I mean like I can like just share whatever I want there without like feeling like I'm too like exposed.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, that's quite rare actually. Yeah, for you to be right.
Yeah, I always want
Facebook.
my friends to get onto Facebook so I can tag them in things, but then like
Yeah.
they just refuse.
Yeah, but that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I think having that platform where you can connect with your other older relatives, right, who are they use Facebook a bit more than the younger generation.
Yeah, I always update my profile pic, then it's always my uncles and aunties that like it.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. I mean, for those of you who are tuning in, feel free to also share like your favorite media platform in our live chat as well. Yeah, and we can take a look later on. Uh, yeah, so I think along the way today, what we're gonna do is we have prepared some questions to ask the youths to share their thoughts about them, and at the same time later we're gonna hear a bit from Carmen as well. Along the way, uh, welcome all of you to be posting any comments, any questions on our YouTube live chat, and then later on we'll have at the end of the session a Q&A session, and we will try our best to answer all the questions that you all send in to us as well. So you can send in during the session or later on as well, right? Right. Okay, we're good. And we have one more youth that's still having problems coming in, but no worries. Anytime when he's ready, we'll
I
have
think
him.
I think he's at the
Yeah.
backstage already.
No, I don't see him at the backstage. Yeah, we actually have a backstage studio here, by the way. And we're using this very cool platform called StreamYard that's allowing us to do this online live talk show, right? Well, anyway, I think we'll just carry on first. First up, I think something interesting to hear from everyone. On average per day, how long do each of you spend on media use? Yeah, combine every other platform that each of us use. Wondering if you do a rough calculation and estimate.
That's a tough question,
Yeah.
Philip.
You can share a range though. I mean, sometimes because it's not very fixed, right? Yeah, you can share a range, especially maybe I was sharing in light of this circuit breaker season lah, and so it's expected to be longer, I think, for everyone, and also because it's school holiday, I think for most of us, right?
Yeah.
Like I think according to my iPhone, like sometimes they'll send notifications on like screen time usage. And then
Yes, it does.
yeah, I don't know how it happens also, but I think one time it said like 9 hours. Yeah.
Well, how many
okay.
hours are you awake per day?
um it really depends now.
Yeah.
So like the whole like yeah, sometimes days carry on into the night. So
Okay. We will talk more about
Yeah.
that later on. Yes.
Yeah, over here.
yeah.
Ethan or Oliver, how about yourself?
For me,
Okay.
about 5 to 6 hours a day. Yeah.
Combine like everything, is it like from
Yeah.
using social media, computer,
Oh,
Phone screen time. I'm not sure about computer. So maybe
okay.
about 7 hours.
Okay. But I'm also guessing part of the computer you use home-based learning, and then you probably
Yeah.
got some schoolwork to do also, right? Yeah, so that's like totally reasonable, man. Nice. How about Oliver?
okay. Media usage. If you're talking about YouTube and Instagram and stuff, right, maybe around 4 hours. But if you're talking about how long I'm online on the computer, it will be around 15 hours.
15 hours.
15.
Let me do a calculation. 24 hours a day minus 15 hours. That's about 9 hours left, right? Is that right?
9
5
hours of
plus.
sleep, or
Yeah.
9 must be
Yeah.
wrong. It's 16 to 17 hours.
Right. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, if I may also share, I think I was also trying to do a calculation myself in
Yeah.
answering this question. I was thinking, yeah, actually when I do a calculation, it's about 12 to 14 hours, I think, per day. Like after minusing maybe
Yeah.
7-8 hours of sleep, and then maybe like I try to exercise a bit some days, maybe minus an hour or so. And then if I cook, then that helps lah. Then that helps me to do something physical apart from media. And having meals, to be honest with y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I like to believe most of us do. Sometimes I'm on my phone even when I'm having my meals, or watching a show when I'm on my meals.
Yes,
So yeah, the media.
I watch Netflix when I'm on my meals.
Yeah, and sometimes my wife has to keep reminding me like I'm eating so slow. Like, can I just like focus? I don't know if she's tuning in right now. She probably is. But anyway, yeah.
Yes, we do see a lot of live comments actually, Philip. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, Oliver, powerful. Oh, that's my. Oh yeah. Okay, if I can show some comments. Oh, I hit 13 hours and they said it went down by 9%. Wow, nice. And then let me see. Yeah. So along the way, if there's any interesting comments, I might just pull it up here and share with everyone as well. Right, very cool function that we have here. Right. Thanks for sharing. Carmen, you want to also share? If I don't know if you
I
managed
think
to.
I'm similar with Oliver. To be honest, from the first thing I woke up, I'll check on my Instagram first. And I use Instagram for a different. I watch a lot of live sale. Recently, I discovered there's a lot of live sale on Instagram. So yeah, shopping. Other than shopping on Facebook, shopping has went on to Instagram. So that's very bad for me. But apart from that, I spend a lot of time on Netflix, especially during this period. Binge watching is very bad. Yes.
Right. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just see Daniel. Yes, I'm gonna invite Daniel in. One more you. You're gonna join us. Okay, let me. Oh, hi Daniel. Finally, sorry. I think I missed you
Hi
just now
everyone.
at our backstage.
Welcome,
Yeah, this is Daniel.
Daniel.
Now, maybe
Okay.
Daniel, you can do a quick self-introduction. Like how old are you? What are your commonly used media platforms, and what's your favorite media platform?
Okay. So I'm turning 13 this year. And then I usually use like Instagram, TikTok, Mobile Legends, and other stuff lah,
Mm.
like YouTube, all this.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. What's your favorite?
So my favorite, Mobile Legends. Yeah.
How many Mobile Legends player out there you can comment down there like, hey, Daniel, me too, later want to play together. Right, okay, that's for you. So how about the question that we just asked just now? On average per day, how long do you spend on media use?
Average
Yeah, if you do a rough calculation, could be a range, like roughly how many hours?
7 to 8 hours.
7 to 8 hours. Right.
Yeah, 7 to 8 hours.
Okay. Nice. Okay, and then now moving on from that question, the next question I'm gonna ask, very interesting. What time do y'all usually sleep every night or morning during this circuit breaker? Just get a sense of like our sleeping pattern and see if we can relate with one another. Anyone?
I'll start then. I
Yeah.
sleep 12 to 1 a.m. Yeah, around that time.
Okay. And what do you usually do just before you sleep, if I may ask?
Sometimes phone, sometimes reading. Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Wow,
12
that's
to 1
reading,
a.m.
which is good.
Yeah. Nice. How about the
How about
rest?
that?
Daniel,
Huh?
how about yourself?
Uh,
What time do you usually sleep nowadays during circuit breaker?
Nowadays
Yeah.
Monday to Friday I sleep at 10 plus.
Even during
And
circuit
then
breaker?
yeah,
Wow,
I was
very
forced.
disciplined. I was forced. Okay, thank you for being very honest. This is indeed a heart-to-heart talk. Honest.
And then
Mm.
Saturday and Sunday I sleep at 11 or 12.
Okay.
Around then.
So you're allowed to sleep a little later, right,
Yeah.
on weekends. Mm. Hannah?
Um, uh, this is very embarrassing.
I mean, if you're
uh,
comfortable sharing, yeah. Okay, no pressure. Okay, if you're not comfortable sharing.
okay. I think
Yeah.
sometimes it'll be really really late or like really early.
Yeah.
uh, I think I can like watch shows or like end up like reading stuff up to
Mm.
like usually like okay like usually until maybe like 5 to 6, and
Mm.
then sometimes like wait, maybe I'm exposing my brother here. But
Okay.
then like sometimes he'll come into the room and then like we'll talk and then we'll end up talking until like the next day. And then we'll try to like we'll both like make a plan to like stay awake for the rest of the day. But then we always end up like crashing at like 12 p.m. Yeah. So like yeah. But then other times when we do manage to get our sleep back, then like I guess I can sleep as early as like 9 p.m. Yeah, so it really depends. Like
Yeah.
it's always a fight to like get my sleep cycle back. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's also really because it's school holidays now for you, and it's circuit
Yeah.
breaker, right? What else can you do
Hmm.
for at home?
Like the day becomes night
Okay.
and like vice
Well, I'm
versa.
living in a US time zone already, right? Let's hear from Oliver. How about him?
Oh, me, 7 to 8 a.m. If it's either that or I don't sleep.
Okay, okay. Like full 24 hours?
Usually, around 7 to 8 a.m. If I excluding school holidays or circuit breaker, I sleep at 4 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how do you function in the day then?
Or
Yeah.
let me give you a secret. If your
Secret.
body
Okay.
clock if your body clock is broken, don't bother fixing it. Break it to a point where it just listens to you.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Oliver, can you try holding your mic closer to your
Yeah.
mouth? Maybe that might be a bit louder. Because now a bit soft.
Is this okay?
Yeah. I think it's better. Right.
Okay, do this
So he
then.
was sharing his secret about. Can you repeat that secret again? I'm not sure if I got it right.
It won't be a secret anymore after today's talk show.
Yeah.
If your body clock is broken, don't fix it. Just
Don't
just
fix
make
it.
it listen to you. Like if your like let's say you see your clock the hand stop moving right, you move it yourself.
Move it, okay. Manually move the account.
Very
Mm-hmm.
very simple.
Right. Cool. Thanks. And I'm guessing most of the time for all of us, just before we sleep, we are probably using some kind of media lah, right? I'm assuming lah. I'm assuming. Anyone here, you are like what? Maybe reading books or I don't know, exercising just before you sleep. Probably not.
Sometimes.
Or sometimes. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I've got to say myself. I recall times, especially when I was following a series on Netflix about a month ago, introduced by my wife. Yeah, this series called While You Were
Oh, you're
Sleeping. So
sleeping.
good. Yeah, and then there were days where I worked, I mean, at night until quite late. Then I was like, wow, just very tired. Just wanted to have like some time to unwind. And then I just sat there in front of TV like from like 12 a.m. Two episodes until 2 a.m. And I can really feel the pull of it, like wow, the addiction is so I can just sit there for maybe even the next 1, 2, 3 hours, but I know next day I need to wake up and work, and also I had to discipline myself. Okay, man, I need to stop. I need to stop there, and then I go to bed. So I can, even as an adult, I can kind of relate lah with some of the experience that you all have. Yeah. So that brings me to today's main question, which I want to ask each of you in your own personal opinion, and the online viewers, you are free to comment as well in our live chat. In your opinion, how much is too much when it comes to media use, right? Like, when do you know it's like, okay, time to stop? How do you tell?
Hmm.
Mm.
I'll go first.
Okay, okay.
Like how much is too much? It may
Mm.
seem like not as convincing coming from like a person who sleep at 7 a.m. using computer, but use it too much when it interferes with whatever you need to do. Like it interferes with your work, interferes with your project or whatever. Because now since it's most of us it's a school holiday and we don't have much project, so we use it a lot. But during regular hours, like when we have school or when we have work and we use it right, that's really too much already. If you can control it
Mm.
and like minimize it with the things to do right, then yeah, that's when you should stop. If you use it when you're like when you're at work, uh when you're doing projects or when you're at school in the class.
Mm. Wow. Carmen, I think we have a youth expert here also.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm going to say later. The first point.
What a good answer.
Yes, truly, when it
Yeah, thank you.
interferes too much with your daily activities or your responsibilities, that's kind of a sign that you're using
Mm.
too much. That then you need to be, yes, very good. Now you can identify it yourself. How about the rest? Any other signs that may show you that how much is too much media use for you?
I think mm, for me it's when like I start to realize that like it's getting very unhealthy.
Mm.
So like I can feel it like my body itself like I'm always feeling very drained or like very tired. Yeah. And
Mm.
then also cause like it starts to mess with your sleep lah. So yeah, so like I mean when and then like your eating habits also will get interrupted.
Mm.
Yeah. So everything sort of changes and then like you have to like come to a point where you realize that like it's too much already. And then you try to work to like fix it. But it'll definitely be hard. Yeah, it's like rehabilitating yourself.
Yeah, you will need to
Mm.
take some time to adjust back to your body clock and to your eating habits and all of those, right? And it happens like so unconsciously. Maybe it's like every day you shift a little bit, few hours later, and by the time you know it, it's already 5, 6 a.m. or 7 to 8 a.m. And yeah, your whole body clock is US time now.
Like
Right?
for some reason it was so easy to like I mean like it was so hard to get my sleep like back to normal. So like it took at least 2 days or something to like start sleeping again like 10 p.m. And then the next day maybe like I just sleep a bit later at like 2 a.m. or like 1 to 2 a.m. And then like before I knew it like I was waking up again like really late. And yeah, like, it just it was I don't know how it works also, but like yeah.
Sure, we can talk more about sleep later, how it really affects. Actually, sleep
Yeah.
do affects a lot of
Hmm.
aspect in our life. And while we're adjusting back the body clock is not something that we can do it drastically. It's actually you have to work the reverse way back slowly in sleeping earlier and earlier, and finally go back to the so-called the optimal time that you need to be sleeping at lah. Yes,
Yeah,
very
yeah. If
good.
not, you
You
have
can
to apply
identify it in your
Oliver's
body.
secret. Right.
Yeah, I still don't know how Oliver's do it. I cannot, maybe because I'm not as young as anymore. My body clock doesn't
Yeah,
work the way it's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
It's
past.
true. It's true.
My highest record probably is like 36 hours without sleeping. I tried to push to my limit, but that's all like in maybe 1.5 or 2 days. But yeah, after that I never tried it anymore.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
How about Ethan?
Okay. For myself, I totally agree with what Oliver and Hannah said. Um,
Hmm.
if you are getting scolded for not handing in homework, I think that's another indicator that you are spending too much time on media. My mom always tells me that the amount of time I spend on work should be the same as the amount of time I spend on media. And so, for example, if I spend 1 hour on doing my homework and I spend 2 hours using my media, then that will be too much.
Wow. A good ratio there as a guideline.
yeah, good point.
Right, right. Daniel, any other things to add on to this question apart from what they
Yes.
have shared? Uh-huh.
Mine is different.
Uh-huh.
Mine is
Tell
right.
us.
When my eyes are getting like very pain, then I'll
Hmm.
stop and take a break. And the
Hmm.
other thing is my mother will start screaming at me. So
I know.
yeah.
Right, 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 right. That's a good indicator. I have that in the past too when I was living with my mother. Now it's my wife. Okay, but anyway, yeah, okay.
Which is good, right? I'm glad that that
Uh,
for like for Ethan, for Daniel, your mom will remind you. It's like a manual alarm clock for using too much of media. And yeah, definitely when your eyes become too tired. I saw a comment just now also, right? Like White Hedy say play Xbox until so tired and eyes hurt. That's an indicator that you've been
this
playing for
one.
too
If
long.
I play Xbox also. Right, right, right.
Yes,
White
if
Hades from White Hades. Right, right.
so, well done. You guys have all, collectively came out with the signs and symptoms of using too much of media. I only prepared 6 signs today, and you guys have actually already covered maybe
Yeah.
half of it.
Yeah, very nice. So then I think that leads us to ask, if it's too much, right? Then so what if it's too much? Are there really real concerns to worry about, or like, I mean, all we are young and we are strong, like we are quite like invincible, right? Nothing could really happen to us. Are there any real concerns to y'all? What do you think?
I think when if you aren't able to put it down by your own will, and it affects like your mood, affects the way you treat others, then like
Hmm.
addiction, when you are like very addicted to something and then you cannot just get off it, and when people try to get you off, you get angry, or yeah, I think that's a sign that is of concern.
Okay, so behavioral changes you observe in yourself. Right, right. Good. Hmm. Oliver looks like he's ready to answer.
I was like half thinking the question, but yeah, I'll answer anyway. I think it's too much if you're like, wow, when you're using social media while doing like almost any other stuff.
Oops, I think he's being cut off a bit.
He's lagging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Oliver. Are you still there? Oh, sorry. Okay, you were lagging a bit just
yeah.
now. Okay. Yeah, okay now. I think.
Oh, sorry.
Would you mind to share again? I think I didn't manage to catch what you have shared just now.
And your
Oh,
Okay, maybe I think he's
okay,
lagging a bit. Okay, maybe I'll pause him and then let someone else share first.
I can go.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Uh,
And,
I think like one of the biggest problems for me like, about like with too much screen time is like when I start to zone out of like the real world. I mean, even though we're just at home, but I mean, there's still your family members who are around you who like want to communicate with you. And I realized that most of the time I'm spending it talking to people who are like online through my phone. And I mean, while I'm still considered socializing, it does hit me that like the people who I'm talking to, they're not with me at the moment, and like I should also be spending it with people around me. Yeah, like instead of like blocking them out unconsciously. Yeah, so actually a lot of the time, like my parents do want to talk to me, but like because I'm always like on my computer, on my phone, and I end up like telling them like to like just put the conversation on hold first, and then yeah, like I'm prioritizing my social media instead. Yeah. So I think that's when, like, when you start to like unconsciously cut people out, that's when you should really like reevaluate your like what your priorities are.
Okay, right. When it starts affecting your relationships, right? Yeah, nice. Good point. Right? Yeah. Daniel, how about yourself? Do you think there's any
Oh,
real concerns with using too much of our media?
uh, I think it will affect my mood lah. Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
how does it affect your mood?
Right. Um, I also don't know how to say. I don't know.
Was it like what Ethan shared just now? You're saying
Yeah.
like maybe you'll be angry when someone wants to take your phone away when you're maybe playing a game, for example. Or,
Yeah.
Okay. So something similar like what Ethan shared. Yeah. Understandable. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Right. So on that note, yeah, maybe now I'll get Carmen to see what she has to add on to these points that we were talking about, like how much is too much and so what if it's too much, right? Oh wait,
Sure.
sorry, I just remembered.
Oliver?
Oliver, let's try
Haven't
again to
get
see
back
if
to
Oliver.
Oliver yet.
Yeah, sorry, thanks. Let's see if we can hear you clearly now.
can you guys hear me clearly now? Am I lagging?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to agree completely with what Ethan said about getting like a bit angry, a bit moody when people try to get you off your social media. Uh, well, that would like that would try to affect your real life relationship with people, like your friends, your family. Uh, like it's good to like sometimes go off it and then still talk to your family members. I say I'm on the computer for like 15 hours a day, but that's because my parents are mainly at work. When they come home, I usually try to talk to them a bit before I go back onto the computer.
That's really nice of you. I think that's a really valid point. Yeah, a lot of times, especially sometimes when we are on the meal. I mean, when I go out, I usually see people still on their phone when they're on the meals. But actually, compared to the time, like we always just like at the start we shared, right? We use like maybe 9 hours to 15 hours on the media daily, and then we reflect back and we think, how much time do we spend on face-to-face interaction with our family members, although we stay with them like 24 hours per day, right? Or with our friends when we see them in school. At we spend like 10 hours in school, but yeah, if let's say there's digital distraction, how many of us would really put down our phone and just cherish the present moment we have with them? So that's the thing that we need to consider about. So good point.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm also wondering, sorry, before getting Carmen to share, based on all the effects that each of us have shared, right? I'm wondering here who has experienced some of these effects that Carmen shared. Just now, not.
Was I
Wait.
supposed to share first
Oh,
and
wait,
ask
wait, wait.
them who has experience?
Oh, wait, sorry, sorry. Uh, uh, yeah, and also the others. Okay, maybe I'll get Carmen to share. Sorry, then we'll get the rest to share this.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Right,
need
sorry.
Ethan's help to share my PowerPoint
Okay.
slide. But most of it have been done by your sharing. I'm glad that you guys did it like real life sharing of your experiences. So maybe first and foremost, I think just now Oliver have brought it up. You know, when it starts interfering with your basic daily activities, and what I say here is really basic, like your meal time, your 3 meals. If let's say you skip your meal or if it interrupts with your meal, like you gorging down food just because you want to go back to play Mobile Legends because your team is waiting for
waiting
you,
for you,
or
or
it
they
disrupt your
disrupt your
sleep.
sleep.
You
You
can't
can't
sort of
sort
fall
of fall
asleep and you
asleep
want
and
to
you
be
want to be
continuously
continuously
on the
on the
media.
media.
Your
Your
hygiene,
hygiene,
maybe
maybe
brushing your
brushing your
teeth,
teeth,
going to
going to
shower.
shower.
I
I
know that
know
there
that
are
there
some
are
youth
some youth
during this
during this
period,
period,
because of
because of
TV,
TV,
right?
right?
They say they
They
don't
say
go
they don't go
out,
out,
so they
so
don't
they don't
really
really
sleep
sleep
very
very
well, and they
well, and
also
they
don't
also
take care
don't
of
take
their
care of their
hygiene.
hygiene.
So maybe
So
they like
maybe they
only
like
go to
only go to
shower like
shower like
2 or 3
for
days.
3 days.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is
so
the
this is the
basic.
basic.
And then we
And
have
then we
our
have our
second point
second point
first.
first.
When it
When
starts
it
to
starts
affect
to
your
affect
social
your social
interaction with
interaction
other
with other
people.
people.
So just
So
now,
just
like
now, like
Hannah and
Hannah and
Oliver, you
Oliver,
did
you
share
did
that,
share that,
sometimes when we
sometimes
start
when
to
we start
spend
to
too
spend
much
too much
time on
time
our
on our
media,
media,
we
we may
forgot to
forgot to
interact with the
interact with
people
the
around
people
us,
around
like
us,
we so
like
called
we so
more
called more
withdrawn to
withdrawn
our
to our
devices.
devices,
And
and
also
also
like
like what
maybe just
maybe just
now
now
Ethan have
Ethan have
shared,
shared,
it may
it
even
may even
how to say,
even
even
may
trigger
even trigger
conflict
conflict
with people
with people
around us.
around us.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
maybe
maybe
sorry,
I think there's a bit of echo
feedback, right?
going in.
I do
I
I do hear
do hear
myself now.
myself now.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Sorry.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
or maybe
Or maybe
Ethan, you want to
Ethan, you
mute
want to
first.
mute first.
Yeah. I'm muted. Okay. I think we can continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So like I
So
just
like I
now
just now
shared, like
shared, like
sometimes it
sometimes it
causes
causes
conflict for
conflict
media
for
use
media use
because
because
people
people
around.
around.
Okay, I still
Okay, I
hear
still
my
hear my
echo.
echo.
Okay, I hope
Okay, I
it's
hope
okay
it's
with you
okay with
guys.
you
If
guys.
not, I continue. Okay. Okay, now I didn't hear any echo. Good. Okay, yes. Yeah, especially like just now, maybe Daniel has shared or Ethan have shared, your parents or people around you may start to tell you that, oh, you spend too much time on your device, and they may want to so-called ask you to put down your device. That's when sometimes a lot of conflicts happens in the family, and when you're too absorbed into the device, you start to get agitated and you doesn't want to stop. Yeah, this is one thing that how it can affect your relationship with others. And thirdly, when you constantly feel that you need to spend just a few more minutes on the media platform. So this is like how much is too much, right? When you keep telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna stop now, but you keep saying that, okay, maybe I just spend another 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, you realize it seems like not enough, I want another 15 minutes. And because of this 15 minutes, you slowly suddenly spend 1 or 2 hours more than you intended to be on your device. And there's also another signs is, let's say at the start, you just spend 1 or 2 hours on your device and you felt contented. You can feel refreshed and go back and do your work. But as you go on, you realize 1 or 2 hours seems like not enough. You need to, this is what we call tolerance. You increase tolerance and you need like 3 or 4 hours to feel more satisfied on your device. This is also a sign when uh, media use maybe started to become a bit too much for you and start to consume your life or take over your life. Okay, so maybe we go on to the next slide. Yeah, this point have been mentioned when you feel agitated, irritable, or boredom and joyless. So it's not only agitated. Sometimes when you spend too much time on media, you may also feel like suddenly become boredom or joyless, or when you have no access to media use. Yeah, so because media use brought so much joy to you, when you don't have access to it, you suddenly feel like life is not meaningful anymore. Nothing can makes you feel interested. Maybe in the past you used to be enjoy going to play basketball or going out to the mall with your friends, but now you just felt like all these are too boring to you. So this is sometimes too much. It means that you rely too much on the media to make you happy. Okay, and the next, continued excessive media use when you realize there are negative or harmful consequences, like similar to what Ethan have shared. Let's say if you realize that your grades are dropping because of your media use, maybe instead of studying for 1 hour, you spend 2 hours on your media use, and you slowly realize that your grades are dropping, you are neglecting your family relationship or your friendship, and then you suddenly, because of you're unable to sleep, you cannot wake up in the morning to go to school, you start to skip school, and you rather to spend your time on the media, and you know that it's not good for yourself, but you keep continue using it. That is when it is too much. And lastly, the last point, you try to cut down on your media use but you fail. Yeah, so sometimes people would do realize that, okay, I know that I use too much, I want to cut down on my media use, but every time you realize, you say that to yourself, but nothing changed, or you maybe spend even more time on media use. So these 6 are simple signs that you can identify for yourself or people around you, that this is when media starts to consume their life, and you probably want to prompt yourself or prompt others to think, are you using too much? Yeah. Okay, so next slide. So what if it's too much? Firstly, we just now shared, I think some of you shared that your eyes maybe get tired. Maybe Ethan can help me to share all the pointers for this slide. Yeah. So eye problems is one of the most common ones, especially nowadays in the dark. When we constantly staring into the screen, it makes our eyes very tired and teary. Yeah, a dry eyes problem. All these are our first world issue regarding media right now. Okay, first is it also sedentary lifestyle, meaning that because you spend so much hours in front of your computer or in front of your TV or Xbox, uh, can you imagine like whole day just lying down there and just looking at the screen? You are not practically, you are not moving much, and how can it does harm to your body, right? When you don't have any physical activities, it will affect your metabolism rate. And while you're doing that, most likely maybe you'll also be sometimes munching some snacks or drinking some coke. I'm not sure. So this will lead to an array of physical health issues if we don't take note and get ourselves out just to walk around and exercise. Yeah, and just now we also covered, we probably will feel very fatigued because of our poor sleep, because how screen time or the blue lights from the screen actually how they emit and impact our so-called circadian rhythm. Our sleep from day become nighttime, nighttime become daytime.
Right.
And I mean, all these are very scientific term, REM sleep. So when we don't get enough REM sleep, it affects our learning, it affects our cognitively, which I think later on I'll be sharing also. And chronic neck and back pain, nowadays, because our posture, when we stay in front of computer or handphone, we may be hunching our back or neck or our wrists while we playing game. So because we are long time on a certain posture, actually it will affect us. Maybe not now when you are young, you may not feel it so much, but years later or years after years, when you're doing this, you'll realize it when you get older later, it actually impacted quite a lot. Okay, so next, these are on physical health. Next is on cognitive ability, especially for students like you guys. You must be alert on how screen time or media use may impact on your cognitive ability. It will affect your concentration. Like just now, I think Hannah shared that sometimes you'll just like zone out, and some of the students I met also, when they so-called use devices excessively, or when they so-called have cyber addiction or gaming addiction, they will realize that they find it very hard to focus sometimes in class, especially. Yeah, and weaker memory. This is due to sleep. Like a lot of this actually affect because of the sleep. Slower information processing. You may find that you can react very fast in your game or online, but maybe come down to maybe real life, sometimes problem solving may take a little bit more time. And weaker impulse control. That's because there's so much things online that we can access so called immediately within a snap of our finger. So suddenly, let's say when your internet is not doing well and it's lagging, you suddenly will realize you'll feel very agitated. The impulses are probably a bit less, a bit more weaker. Okay, let's go on to the next point. Impact on mental health. Yeah, so just now we did talk about addiction. Addiction is one key issue that is rising, although I mean so-called DSM have not listed it as a mental health, but WHO actually listed so-called maybe gaming addiction as a disorder. So I think just in general, internet addiction, social media addiction will slowly become an issue that we all need to face. Um, and depression and anxiety. I've worked with youth with depression, and also I met a lot of youth with anxiety. A lot of them actually are tied to the use of social media and online. This is because maybe because of the sense of insecurity you have online, or the identity that we have online. Because when we maybe spend our time on Instagram, on Facebook, or on TikTok, we see how well people are doing. Then we start to compare their life with our life. Although their life is the life that they presented on the screen, but we take it as real, and then we compare it with ourselves, and we're wondering, what am I doing in my four square room instead of them out there, traveling or enjoying their life. Yeah. Maybe sometimes it also affect our body image on how we see ourselves also. Okay, cyberbullying is another, I think, is very real issues that happening. I mean, just recently, if you guys read the news or if you guys watch Netflix, you'll know one of the Netflix star actually committed suicide because of cyberbullying. So it's real. There's a lot of news out there. Yeah. And peer pressure, FOMO. I think some of us. I think just now I saw the live comment say that how can I so-called stop myself from having to being keep updated to the social media. I guess maybe you are experiencing FOMO, the fear of missing out. And this can lead to a lot of anxiety, like we have to constantly check our notification the first thing, am I missing out something? Or maybe you're in a WhatsApp chat group, you've just been away from your phone for maybe few minutes, and suddenly there's like 50, 60 or hundreds notification, and you felt the pressure to read everything because but in the long term, all this can lead to serious mental health effects. And emotion suppression. So this pointer, why I want to brought it up is because a lot of us may do this unconsciously. We may use media to suppress our emotion in a way that we're trying to avoid to feel certain things in our real life. Yeah, maybe real life, sometimes we will say that real life is not treating us so-called very well. You felt very sad and when you go to school, and then or you felt angry maybe when you're having conflict with your parents, and then you try to go to the social media or media to seek emotional comfort. So the more you do this, the more the emotion is being suppressed. And maybe after a period, I'll hear, youth telling me, I feel numb. I can't feel any emotions. Day by day, I'll just do this, keep my routine online. Yeah. So these are the impacts that we may experience if we not careful and use the media for too much. So maybe I hand over my time to Philip when you want to ask the question about maybe, for our youth participants here, do you experience some of these symptoms, or do you see someone else that experience these symptoms or effects? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Carmen, for sharing. I think those insights that many of our youth has also quite accurately identified. So I think there's quite good self-awareness among these youth right here. So I'm wondering out there among our live viewers as well, are these some of the effects that you have experienced yourself as well? If you have, or you have other effects that you have experienced yourself, you could add in the comments as well. Right. Yeah, and I think personally, what's helpful, I think, in knowing what Carmen has just shared, for me, on a personal level, it then helps me, I think, to be more aware. Now that I've heard this, understood this, then when I continue engaging with my media daily, because I think it's something that we can't quite run away from, right? School, you have to use it, especially this circuit breaker, and with the COVID situation. With work, we've got to use it. Then our entertainment and almost everything we do involves some kind of media usage lah. Yeah, so in our technological age. Yeah, so then I think it's not so much about like we can't use, but how can we help ourselves manage it so that we can avoid the harmful, unhealthy effects, of it, right, of excessive or unhealthy usage. So I'm also wondering among our youth here and also the online viewers, how many of you have actually tried doing something to better manage your media use? And then maybe you could share like some of your tips with our online viewers. Yeah, what have you tried and it worked for you?
I can go first.
Yeah, go Hannah.
So I do agree with your earlier point on Carmen's earlier point on how like excessive use can lead to mental health issues. So I do have friends also who have experienced the same thing. So because they follow a lot of like accounts, it could be anything. It could be maybe like influencers or maybe like their interests, like their passions are in line with like the accounts that they follow, and they see the accounts are like doing better than them. There will always be this sort of like insecurity that is like evoked between them, and they start to beat themselves up because of it. And then I feel that it comes in the way of them actually being able to become what they inspire to be. Because they start to like fear actually posting online themselves, and I mean they think that they're not good enough. So yeah, like it definitely leads to a sense of like depression and just thoughts whenever they like go online. So I mean I myself can relate to that. And what I've tried to do was sometimes I'll just go on like social media breaks. So I'll just like delete Instagram from my phone for like maybe like 2 days, 3 days, until like I feel like okay, maybe I want to reconnect with my friends again, and I'll just download it back. Yeah, or like once I think once it did get a bit too overwhelming for me, so I deleted everything. So Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, I just got rid of all anything that had to do with like online networking. And yeah, I think I even deleted WhatsApp. So I told my friends to
Wow.
just contact I told them to just contact me on
Wow.
message,
Yeah. Wow.
like on SMS. Because like I really wanted to get like some work done. And yeah, I couldn't take it anymore because I do feel stressed every time I have to like reply people's messages and things like that. There will always be this like feeling at the back of my mind, like, oh, I have to get back to that person. So and I didn't want to feel that way anymore, and so I just deleted everything. Yeah, and I mean, but I'm not actually advocating that because I kind of lost all my chat history. So I mean, maybe not that extreme, but I mean, I think it's good to take breaks once in a while, and if you really just have to delete the app, then just do so. Because you can always download it back later.
Wow, thanks Hannah for sharing that. Going on social media fast and on different kind of
Sometimes
media
just take a
fast.
break.
A break lah, taking a break. That's good.
Yeah, thank you for your honest sharing. I think this is something that maybe a lot of audience out there also could relate. And I also remember that actually, Philip, you took a social media break before, right?
Yeah,
You
I do
tried
also.
some social
Yeah,
media fast
periodically.
30 days challenge.
Oh yeah. Yes. Periodically, because I think whether is it youth or adult, the effect is real. I think when you're on it and then when you get into the habit of like posting things and then wanting to look at whether are people liking, are people commenting, and then your mind keep constantly being preoccupied with these thoughts.
All these
And so sometimes when you find that it's really like getting overwhelming, then I think that's an indicator lah, right? Even like Hannah was sharing that, okay, I think it's time for me to just take a break from it to help me recalibrate, so that I can enjoy using social media without suffering like the negative side of it lah, right? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we should use social media, not social media use us, right? In a sense that whatever we consume actually do affect our thoughts, our brain, even though it can be a direct or indirect effect. So I think thank you for being brave enough, to deactivate and to say that, that's okay, that's enough, I'm going to take break, because it can be very difficult for a lot of people. How about the others?
For myself, I actually also just ended my 30 days of social media break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I had so much more time during that 30 days, and it was just very refreshing. And now that I came back, I think this is my third day restarting using social media, and I don't even feel that urge to use it so much now after that 30 days. Another thing I tried besides before the 30 days was actually just turn off all my notifications, because I find myself always picking up my phone whenever I see a notification, and then without even knowing 30 minutes passed already, just because I wanted to reply my teacher. And so I just turned off all my notifications, and I think that helped cut 1 to 2 hours down. And
Yeah, I echo that. Actually, I myself, I do that as well with my WhatsApp, with my social Instagram and all that as well, and that really helps. Good job. How about Oliver or Daniel?
For me, I don't think I've tried to manage my video use better, but despite my sleep schedule,
Your mic, Oliver, can you put your mic nearer to your mouth? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot. Despite my sleep schedule, I don't think I what do you call it, use social media too much. Like I don't go on Instagram 9 or YouTube 24/7 or like for 15 hours. At most on the computer, online on the computer, I say 15 hours. But if I talk about social media use, right, like using YouTube, Instagram, everything combined is up to around 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours only. All the other times is mainly sometimes not even playing games on the phone, just talking to them online. stuff
Just
like
to
that.
connect.
Like I thought about like fasting from social media, but then again I got way too lazy because if I don't have social media, I at home I will just stare into the ceiling and fall asleep for the next like 12 hours.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So honestly.
That's,
Daniel, yourself? Oh, actually, I think I recalled what Daniel shared with us earlier, right? He says that he sleeps around 10:30 because he's forced to every day. That's but I'm wondering, apart from that, apart from your parents encouraging you to sleep early, are there other things that you yourself have tried as well to better manage your media use?
My father set time limit in my phone.
Mm.
Yeah. So every game app only has 30 minutes. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So once you reach the 30 minutes, you are locked out of that app, out of that game, and then you can't access
yeah,
it for that day.
cannot play. Yeah. Every day 30 minutes.
Okay. How are you managing with that? Oh, Hannah, you wanted to ask him? Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry, I thought it was done. Oh no, please continue. I can continue later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm just wondering, like from Daniel's perspective, like how do you feel about this way of managing, like your parents setting this screen time limit and all that? Yeah. Is it something that you feel like okay, it's reasonable, or you feel like actually really very short, or like how do you really feel about it, or any thoughts on that? I'm guessing your parents are not around you lah. In case you're worried of sharing something that they are listening to. Any thoughts, Daniel?
Me? Oh,
Yeah,
for
on
me,
how is that
it's
working
quite
out for
short
you?
lah. Very short. Yeah, 30 minutes is very short.
Yeah. Have you tried to
Will you get
negotiate?
angry?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I just wonder, will you get angry when the 30 minutes is up?
Yeah.
Or frustrated maybe?
Can you hear?
Maybe he's lagging.
Oh yeah, now it's Daniel's turn to lag. Okay, anyway. Yeah, thanks Daniel for sharing. Hannah, you can go ahead and just now you wanted to ask or say something.
No, I just wanted to add like another possible solution is like, I mean, if you want to like block out any sort of like negative energy, so to speak, online, I think what you can just do is just take that step to just unfollow those accounts. I mean, they might not be bad for you. They could really just be like people posting about their lives and being happy and like trying to spread like positive vibes as well. But if it is, in turn negatively affecting you, then I think you should just really decide to just press the unfollow button and cut them out for a while. And if these people are people that you can't unfollow, maybe like they're your friends, I think it does help to maybe just create another account, like a more private, a more private account where you can just follow the things that you want to that are helping you, and then just have like this space where it's more private and it's healthier. So like if that makes sense.
Yeah, and actually, if let's say it's on Instagram, because I use Instagram the most, right? You can actually mute the person entirely. That means their posts and their stories won't appear on your feed, and they won't know it. So, if you don't want to unfollow, or sometimes when you unfollow, then you need to request back, and your friends will like, how come you unfollow me? Just mute them secretly. When you're ready for them again, you can just unmute.
Yeah, correct.
A good time.
Actually, one more thing. I saw my friends use this app. I think it's called Forest app. The amount of time you go off your phone, then the time will start ticking. Then after like maybe if you stop using your phone for 1 hour, then you can grow a small bush. Then if you grow that amount of time, 2 hours, then you can grow a small tree. Then the more trees you grow, yeah, the more satisfactory you feel, so you won't use so much. And I think my friends have said that it's pretty good. But I've never tried it
Wow.
before.
Cool. Your
Yeah,
friends
maybe
who
it's
are the
time
same
to
age as you, right?
try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's encouraging to hear. I mean, from 15-year-old being motivated to like try different ways to help themselves manage it better.
I think even friends my age use that app. But I think you have to pay now, if I'm not
Oh,
wrong. Yeah, like there's
it's
a
probably a
small.
free and a paid version.
I think it was free for a while, and then my friend downloaded it. But I think now you have to pay. I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too expensive.
Hmm.
Maybe for
Cool. Thanks,
parents,
Ethan.
start to invest in forest app.
Yeah, and go to the real forest right after
And I
when
think they
you're
got
not
different type of
certain age.
trees. I think I downloaded it previously, and I thought it was quite. I mean, the graphics and everything is pretty cute. So yeah, can check it out.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys, for sharing that. Those of you who are listening live as well, feel free to share whatever tips you have. While now we also hear a bit from Carmen if there's any other tips she might want to add on to what has been shared.
Sure.
The slides.
Okay. Yeah, need Ethan's help in.
Okay, got it.
Need
here.
to show the last two
The
slides.
next.
Yeah. So I guess we have covered quite
Yeah.
a lot. So actually, first of all, I think now our handphone can actually track our media usage quite easily, and it can help you to see which app you spend the time most on. So that, I mean, just the simple gesture and going to check how much time you spend on media use is actually helpful to help us to increase our awareness. Like sometimes because when we start to engage in media use, time just pass so fast, and we thought maybe we just spend 1 or 2 hours, but actually we spend 3 to 4 hours. And let's say you are not only on your phone but on your computer as well, or on your TV watching Netflix. I think these are all the pockets of time that we actually need to be mindful and keep track of, because maybe I can spend like 2 3 hours on my phone, and then another 2 3 hours on Netflix, and another 2 3 hours on Xbox, or PlayStation, or even Switch. Yeah, and when you add up all these numbers, you realize you actually spend maybe 10 to 12 hours on the media per day. So first of all, need to know what we are dealing with first. How much time are we spending on media? And just now, Ethan have shared, turn off push notification for unnecessary apps. Or like Hannah said, if there's someone's post you doesn't want to see, just turn off the notification, or just press the mute
Unfollow.
button,
Yeah.
or unfollow, or create a new account. Yeah, because actually the push notification, I'm not sure if you play games on your phone. Let's say if you play Mobile Legends, if they got a specific so-called time to level up, or there's limited promotion for this item, sometimes they will push up, and they will keep asking you, okay, you haven't been checking it back to the app for quite some time, would you like to check back? These are every time when we press the push notifications, is another minute or another hour that will pass by. So be selective with the media that you want to consume. Is this video really helping you? Okay. 3 is limit your time use on media. So I mean, let's say you spend 10 to 12 hours on your media and you want to cut down, be conscious on how much time you want to use. For example, like Ethan's parents say, if you do work 1 hour on your work, you should be probably using 1 hour on your media, or even less, because you need some more time for exercising, maybe your alternative hobbies, or talking to your parents. We all have different pockets of times for different things. I know media use is very tempting because it can serve different functions, but try to see, do we have any other activities that can substitute using media. Okay. Lastly, create media free zone or time. So this is like, for example, in your bedroom, make it a media free zone. I mean, for some of you, your laptop probably is in your room, okay? But maybe, let's say, dining table. no phones allowed, or living room while you're watching. I mean, TV is also a media, but maybe no phones allowed when you're watching with your family. Yeah, or if let's say creating a media-free zone is too tough, you can create a media-free time. For example, at night, 9, maybe 10 to 12 p.m. There's I shouldn't be touching my phone anymore, and I use it for other things, maybe like reading a book. I'm not sure, talking to your parents at night time to say how your day has been so far. These are the things that you can consider doing. Okay, next. Yeah, plan time for alternative activities and hobbies. I know that during this circuit breaker period, it's probably a bit tough, but I mean, so far there's a lot of, online, talking about media use again, right? Online, there's a lot of things coming out of what people do during circuit breaker. We can still use media in a productive or healthy manner. So it's depending whether you are consuming media in a very passive manner, that means simply scrolling and you spend hours of scrolling and looking at other people's content, or you are actively using it and producing certain content. So for example, maybe you want to try to learn baking. So you go on to your YouTube and search how to bake, or how to make dalgona coffee, or how to make a Milo lava cake. These
Right.
are more productive use of media. Or nowadays a lot of people do Zoom exercise, right? I mean, Philip, I think Philip told me you
Yeah.
Zoom
I
group
was doing that with
exercise.
some friends the other day.
Together,
Watching a
yes.
video together and then we work out together over Zoom.
Yeah, so
Pretty
these
fun.
are very good use of media, and also at the same time you're working out your body, you're working out your muscles, and your mind is not fully preoccupied on media but also other things. Yeah. Uh, 6, be more mindful on your media behavior. Ask yourself, what is the reason I'm watching this, or what's the reason I'm using this app? Yeah, so this is more on how we can reflect on our media behavior, because sometimes media is designed to be addictive. That's what all the phone or computer or all the apps try to be used. They want to try to get you to spend more time on it. They want to try to get you to hook on it. That's how it works. So don't be we all must be more informed about our use, and don't try not to be like too ignorant about our use. uh, so try to reflect. If you have time, try to reflect. If you spend too much time on Instagram, then start to question yourself, why are the reason I spend too much of the time on Instagram? What is my need? Is it for me to gain more likes? Why am I posting so much? Is it I'm trying to create my identity, or I'm trying to show others, I'm living well, or let's say if you're playing games, why I'm spending so much time on this game app? Is it because I like the teamwork? If it's, is there any other way we can substitute that? Okay, lastly, if let's say things getting out of control, you tried everything and it doesn't work, and you're having conflict with your family members or parents every day, or you're having conflict with your friends at school because maybe there's some cyberbullying issues and you can't resolve it, find a professional for help. Yeah, so these are my tips on how we can manage our media use. So I hand the time back to Philip.
Nice. Thank you, Carmen, for sharing that. I think related to what Carmen has shared, there's an online viewer here. Let me screen his comment. Yeah, and he shared that he tries to use social media to communicate with people rather than just random browsing. And he only watched YouTube for specific reasons and very selective of what he watched. And yeah, I think being selective with what you're wanting to get from the different platform is a way to help yourself regulate.
Yeah,
Good, thank
because
you.
not
White
everything
Hades.
yes, that's what it is. Because not all content or real or accurate. Am I lagging just now? I think
No, just for one split second or so. Yeah.
Yeah, not all content are real, so we need to be selective in what we are watching or reading.
Yeah. Nice. Right. Nice. The time now is 4:18. We're making good time. And we do have some questions that has been sent in our live chat already. Maybe right now for the remaining time, we could maybe be answering some of the questions that have been posed by viewers. And if among four of you as well, if you have any other questions, you could ask as well. But maybe let me give some of the online viewers a chance for their questions to be raised, and then we can talk a little bit about that. I know just now earlier on there was one from Delise Lai. How can I break the need to be always up to date with social media? I'm trying to cut down, but it's a lot. Yeah, something that I think just now Carmen touched on a bit, and then Hannah as well. If there's anything you want to add on and to kind of like sum up and package this answer to Delise Lai again.
Yeah, I hope just now what I shared somehow helped to answer the question. So again, being mindful about what is the need of you having to keep up to date with social media, and can we be more firm in saying that no, it's okay, I don't need to keep up to date. If you want, sometimes used to tell me, they say that because I want to keep up to date to what my friend is doing. But why do you need that? And is it okay for you to follow up afterwards, even if you have missed out? Do we really need to know all these aspects of your friend's life? Right? Yeah, we can be very select. We can still be good friends, even though we don't know what your friend is doing 24 hours. Yeah. So just be more mindful. And let's say just now we have shared, turn down the notification. Yeah. And set some time off from social media, or like just now Hannah and Ethan have shared, take a social media break. But I think most importantly, it boils down to your own self. What is the need that you're trying to fulfill by keeping up to date with social media? Yeah.
Right. Good. Well, I just want to say good effort, Delise Lai, for trying to cut down. If you need further assistance, I don't know, you could perhaps try to reach out to Hannah just now, was sharing about media fast social, or try what she suggested, and whatever comment chat. Later we'll be sharing our contact as well. If you want to talk to any one of us further, you can do so. Right. All right. I have another question that's related to social media as well. And yeah, the rest can feel free to chip in too. Huh? So I think Hannah sounds like a social media expert also.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Chia. How much social media is counted too much for a teenager? Nice picture there with the guitar.
Okay, I think we have covered this as well
Yeah.
earlier in the discussion and talk. If we're talking about time, it's actually hard to quantify, but usually when we're talking about how much, we're looking at the effects and signs and symptoms or impacts of social media on the so-called daily functioning, how it affects your social life, how it affects your basic daily activities such as meals, sleep, or hygiene. Yeah, does it affect your mood? Whether you have any withdrawal effects when you were being cut off from social media, whether you neglect your responsibility and work or duties as an adult or as a student. Yeah, so these are the areas that we look at to see whether it is too much of a social media use for the teenager.
Right. Jason, I hope that helps. Then
Actually,
I have Ethan. Yeah.
like a time range for like average person to be like healthy and not have tired eyes or be addicted. Is there like a time range or like a suggested amount of time that we should be using our media for?
If I remember the suggested of time, right? It's a good question, Ethan. Of course, they will do have suggested time, but as far as I remember, I can't remember whether is it for teenager or for children. It's probably like 1 to 2 hours per day, and then some will say 4 to 6 hours per day is too much. Yeah, so when I hear this, I'm like, okay, but in our current society, maybe is it a bit too tough for us, especially for us in Singapore, we are using media quite heavily compared to maybe people at the other parts of the world. Yeah, but usually what they recommend is 1 to 2 hours per day.
Thank you.
Yeah, and maybe applying a generic rule of what based on whatever you are doing. I think the rule of like 45 minutes. I mean studying lah. I think this is something that I learned last time as a student as well. You study for about 45 minutes. You take maybe about 10 minutes break or 15 minutes break. Unless if you are already in the zone already, you can concentrate for the next 2 hours. I guess sometimes that's fine as well. But after some time, maybe at least 2 hours, I think it would be advisable to take a break lah. Oh,
Yes, because
yeah.
I think the key here is balanced use. The key here is how do we maintain different aspects of our life, because we only have 24
Yeah.
hours a day. If we minus the hours that we sleep, shower and eat, we only left with few hours, and minus if let's say you're having to do homework, we really have not much time left actually, if you think about that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Thanks, Ethan, for asking that too. Next question is a very interesting one, coming from a youth. JDC07. Wow, slam dunk. Okay, the question is, how can parents play an active role in speaking to their children about regulating their time spent on media? I'm guessing maybe this youth probably is asking because maybe some parents out there, they are not so active, right, in trying to manage their children's use. They just let them to use however they want, and they don't really restrict too much lah. So maybe this youth is wondering, since my parents maybe don't do that so much, how can I or how can I speak, I don't know, like involve my parents in any way, or what can parents do?
Okay. I think
Yeah.
parents should definitely take a very active role to manage your children's media use since young. The keyword is since young. So firstly, if you can delay as much exposure of media to your children, it's better to introduce them later, because actually nowadays there's a lot of research coming out that shows that how media use is impacting our brain development, especially for like children or teenagers like you. When the brain is not fully mature, it can change a lot of so-called neural pathway, or the way you behave, or our cognitive development. That's why it's better to introduce media use later compared to early age. Yeah. And but like let's say if you're a teenager, I mean that's why I mean for Daniel parents, I think I really should commend Daniel's parents. I think your parents did very well in helping you to manage, although you may not be 100% happy all the time with what they are doing, but it's actually for your own benefits. You probably will realize the benefits later on rather than now, because as a children or youth at this point of time, when our impulse control may not be as matured as adult yet, it may find it very difficult to understand why you need to limit my use. Right. But let's say as a teenager, maybe I also want to ask our youths here, like, what I mean, because firstly, as a teenager, sometimes we say that, okay, we want our own space, we are old enough to manage our own use, right? When your parents start to step in, try to nag at you, okay, it seems like spending too much time. Sometimes you may not be happy as well. So I want to throw the question back to our youth participants here to hear, how do you think you would like your parents to manage your media use? Or how can they talk to you about media use in a way that it makes you feel comfortable and it helps you to manage it?
Maybe I'll start first. I think my parents do not actually at all, or maybe a little bit, control my media use or game amount of time I spend on my phone, as compared to my friends who I heard of confiscating 30 days before exam.
Wow.
And when I heard that, I was a bit shocked, but I
I am
think
very
that
shocked.
I think that if my I think the key is to get the children to understand that too much media use is not good for themselves. If, for example, if you are a parent and then you just restrict your child to 1 hour a day until he grows up to 18 years old, and then maybe he goes to overseas, or I don't know, going overseas for university, or when the restriction is off, then naturally, because there's no more restriction, then you will tend to push more than the 1 hour, and you just want to go 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, because there's no more limit. But if your parents are able to like instill telling you that it's because of like it's your own self-discipline and not because of your parents solely, then I think no matter if there's limit or not, slowly even if then even if there's no limit, then the youth won't be able, would not still go past that 1 hour. And um I know, for example, if now and then but then the parents concerns will be like if we don't restrict now, then what if they like fail their exams or not? And I think that it's better to fail your exams now and learning from your mistakes than if you go to university and don't have that self-discipline and fail then. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
Ethan here
thanks,
sounds just like a
Lucas.
parent already. Thank you, Ethan, for the
Yeah.
insightful response.
Yeah, when working with youth is teenagers is a totally
Mm,
different context because this is the age that actually for parents you want to help your youth to develop certain self-discipline, like what Ethan have mentioned. You cannot fully just take control over it because it will just help them to develop a very reliant or dependent habits, and worse off it may create a lot of conflicts, breaking your relationship with your child. And then eventually, I mean, I always say for teenagers, if they're set on doing something, they will still find way to do that around your back, you know. So it's better to be more upfront, having that communication, letting them know your concerns and your worries on their media use, and if can, discuss together how do you think both can play a role in coming up with maybe a family media use plan. Yeah, and of course the plan won't, I mean, based on my experience in working with youth, the plan won't go 100% smoothly. Bear in that mind, there will be conflict. There are times that your youth may negotiate to have more media use time, and it's normal. It's all a part of growing up and learning how can we co-create decisions, how can we make wise decisions together.
together.
Yeah, so it's really a tough learning curve when working with teenagers on media use.
Yeah.
How
Wow,
about, I mean,
thanks.
maybe for Hannah and Oliver, is there any other points that maybe you want to share?
I think I really agree what Ethan said about like how it's like I mean the parents take like shouldn't completely control the child. I mean I feel that it's very important that I mean I don't know if this is controversial, but then like how I feel for it would work better would be that parents give their child like this sense of freedom. So um allowing them to have like free use with their social media, like to not confiscating their phones away, you know, like showing them that like I respect you and so you should respect me as well. So I mean because I feel that when parents exert too much control, that's when their child will start to develop this like rebellious streak instinct. And they will start to go behind their parents' back and do things behind their parents' back so as to get their will because they know that I mean there's no other way otherwise. And I mean I think as parents would rather have their child be honest with them and not do things behind their back. And I think it's much safer that way too because parents are able to better supervise their children. So when their children are more upfront with them instead of like sneaking around behind their backs. So um, I think it's the most effective way would be when the child themselves understand that they should change. And I mean, only you can change yourself. Other people cannot change you. They cannot impose their own expectations onto you, because it really depends on like your personal willpower. That's when like you really there will really be improvement. There will really be change. So I mean, I think what's most important is not to control the child's media usage, but rather to shape their mindset instead. So I would suggest that parents do not sort of get involved with like what like with like the with like phones and things like that, but rather sit down, talk to them, and work with their spiritual, like, you know, inner like upbringing instead, like mental upbringing. Yeah. Instead of like controlling like what like the physical things.
Yeah, very well said. Start from the values, start from
Yeah.
the mindset. Yeah, this is a part of parenting, actually, a part of helping our children to realize. I mean, for now it may be just media use, but all these values and mindset will help actually eventually later when growing up on other areas of issues as well. Yeah, so having a strong relationship with your child, honest relationship that built on honesty, respect is very important, because that's how they are going to learn it from you, and that's how they're going to learn how you problem solve as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank
Good
you,
sharing
Hannah, for
there.
your input.
Yeah. And on the note of, I think parents, this is probably like a advertisement. Yeah, and whatever we're
For
talking
the
about is related to what we're also gonna be talking about this coming Saturday. Apart from a youth session, we're gonna have an exclusive parent session as well on this similar topic, where we're gonna hear from some parents also, and have a heart-to-heart talk with them as well. Yeah. So if there's any parents here who's tuning in, well, you have heard from some of our own youth perspective. Hope that helps you in your parenting journey. How about I have a few more questions. Maybe I just have maybe one or two more. That's quite different lah. Yeah, different from I think what we've been talking about. Now we have one question about gaming. This same person is James Fernandez. Hi, James Fernandez. He was asking, is social media as bad or as worse or not as bad as gaming? And then later on, he followed up with a related question as well about, would online games also be considered as social media since you socialize with people from around the world? Yeah, so I think it's this idea about comparing social media with gaming lah. Yeah, and how should he see that and how should he manage that?
Okay, I won't say that there's a bad or worse. They serve different functions, and sometimes their functions do overlap, like what you have mentioned. Actually, the socializing part, like for multiplayer game, you know, you socialize with people all around the world. It can serve as a function in your social relationship. And for my past experience, I work with a lot of youth with gaming addiction, and I also work a lot of youth who are having depression or anxiety because of social media. And interestingly, based on my observation, is a lot of actually males facing more of gaming issues, and a lot of females face more of social media issues. Although there's also, I mean, sometimes there's girls in gaming, and sometimes there's boys facing social media issues as well. But in general, both of them, like gaming is having a different design behind it. It works in a different way, but it also taps into a lot of different of like so-called reward pathway, your self-esteem issue. It also can work on your social issue when you're playing in a multiplayer game. So same but different in a way. Yeah. I'm not sure whether it helps to answer your question for that.
Am I the only one that?
Oh, Oliver. I think Oliver has something to share about that.
I completely agree with what you said, but I want to answer this as well because I play a lot of games. Really too
Oliver
much
is
I
also a game.
but yeah, yeah. As for the as social media as bad worse or not as bad as gaming, I don't think they should be I don't think either of this should be considered bad because
Yeah.
it all depends on how you use it and how you use it. Social media, for example, like what Hannah said earlier, right, about people posting about their life and like trying to give off a good vibe or like comfy vibe, right?
Mm.
People can also use it the opposite way and like cyberbully other people, so can gaming.
Mm.
For
Mm.
example,
Mm.
in games if people play badly, right, there's one to two
Mm.
reactions. One is you feel neutral and ignore it. The second is you are very toxic and you scold the player. The
Yeah,
third is
yeah.
that you try to be a nice guy and say don't worry about it, you can try again.
Mm.
It all
Yes.
depends on how you use it. It's
I
like
mean,
using a knife. Yeah, a knife
oh,
is like
sorry,
a very
continue.
dangerous weapon. Yeah, sorry. You can stab, you can sound with it, and like end up going to jail for all like what. And also it's used to cook and make very delicious food items. So it all depends on how you use it. And as for the online games, right, it can technically be counted as a social media because you meet people from all around the world. If your relationship with them gets very good, right, you may go out of the way to meet with them at on the countries you're not comfortable with. There are people who post online about meeting their online for 8 years, playing below and stuff like that. Like buying airline tickets to one of the cities and then meeting up together. It's a very nice thing if that would happen, but there's also of course the dark side where people just scold other people constantly. Yeah, so it all
Mm.
depends on how you use it. It can be either good or bad. But sadly the media often portrays it as bad because it's the media. I wouldn't say it's like trying to be all bad, but I'm not saying they're portraying it all bad, but there's not much good the media is saying about gaming.
Mm.
Yes, I agree with what Oliver says. In fact, actually, I grew up gaming a lot, and gaming is one of my favorite topic. We can talk a lot of time on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I always say that gaming helped me to train a lot of skills, a lot of valuable skills.
Mm.
And hence really not say good or bad, but it really depends on how you use it. And I mean,
Mm.
in gaming, there are some guild function, there are some guild to actually gel each other and help each other, even to remind each other you should be studying and shouldn't be still playing at this moment. Even though the time difference is very much different, some from US and some from Asia,
Mm.
so you can still have very helpful guildmate. You can play different roles in the games, but at the same time, you do know that there's some people who like to troll in the game and try to fight in the game. Yeah, so it really
Yeah.
depends on how to use it, like what Oliver said.
Yeah, yeah, I can attest to that. In fact, I mean, I recall back when Carmen and I were working together with our team, there were times where we were playing Mobile Legends together. Well, Carmen was quite good at it. Yeah, and yeah, gaming definitely it is. Yeah, there's no bad or good about it. But in fact, I mean, if you use it well, it is quite a good bonding activity and like that trains teamwork and your build bond between those whom you are playing with as well. Yep. Yep. Okay. Wow, I think we have come to the end of today's heart to heart talk. Wow, that is a very, very nice chat with everyone here. I think for the past 1 hour, 38 minutes, 47 seconds thus far. Yeah, and I think we've heard many valuable insights and experiences from everyone here, from our fellow youths expert. I mean, now I've come to realize there's a few different expert in different areas here. We have a gaming, social media, we have a parent expert, and then and I hope for those of you out there who are listening to this or who's maybe gonna watch this after we have this live talk as well, hope this will be something you find helpful for you or those whom you know. And on a related note, I think just now, like we were mentioning, for those of you out there who might still have certain questions or things you hope to talk about related to this topic, Here is Carmen and my contact. If any one of you like to chat further with us, or just now you heard about what Carmen does in his professional work, and you might like to explore getting her assistance in certain area, feel free to contact her. Her number, her email is there. My email is there as well if you want to reach out to us. And at the same time, I think today is really quite a good start, I think, to a first online live talk show that we have here, and we certainly hope this won't be the last. We definitely are hoping to have more of such in time to come, hopefully face to face, right? We can meet face to face back together and don't have to do this. But meanwhile, if there are still restrictions, then I think this is something we hope to continue to have. So if you do have any suggestions about what topic you hope to hear about, send us as well. Send in your suggestions, and we will look into that, and we will organize subsequent talk shows, and maybe this could be a series, Youths HTHT Talk, and then we could be talking about another issue altogether. Gaming could be one issue on its own, could be talking about BGR, right, boy-girl relationship that youths love to hear about and talk about as well, or friendships, or any other thing as well, right? So let us know. Yeah, and I'm just wondering here, among our youth panelists and Carmen, if there's anything else you'd like to say to our viewers before we end our talk show today.
I really appreciate, thank you for inviting me for today's talk show, and I really appreciate how our youth panels are so open and honest in sharing your experiences. I certainly do enjoy today's session, and I hope the viewers will enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Carmen, for coming on board. Yes. Anyone from the youth?
Thank you.
Yeah. If not, thank you again, Hannah, Oliver, Ethan, Daniel, and Carmen for coming on board with us today for this talk show. If y'all want to tune in and see, we're gonna be here again on Saturday morning when you're most probably sleeping while your parents are up. Yeah, you can share this with your parents as well. The link will be on a live community network YouTube channel. It's already there, scheduled for this Saturday, 10 a.m. Right. If not, see y'all around again sometime. I'm gonna exercise after this. Get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
And